Hi, welcome to Between the Bags and Boards. I'm Kurt.
And I'm Matt. And today we're going to be looking at Justice League number 14. Justice League 14 is written by Geoff Johns. The issue picks up in the Congo. Superman has been poisoned by the Cheetah and is going berserk. Mimicking the sound of a horn that interrupts the poison, Cyborg is able to subdue Superman. Batman decides that he and Cyborg will stay with Superman while the rest of the League goes after the Cheetah under Aquaman's leadership. The Flash and Wonder Woman eventually catch up to the Cheetah and engage her. She wounds the Flash before dueling Wonder Woman. Meanwhile, Batman learns the true origins of the Cheetah. The entire time, Wonder Woman has been trying to save Barbara Minerva from the Cheetah entity. However, it turns out that it is not the Cheetah goddess that is evil, it is Barbara Minerva. She is a lifelong criminal who's using her power for evil, not vice versa. Back at the fight, the Cheetah seems to have the upper hand until Wonder Woman knocks her into a river. It turns out that this was all a trap prepared by Aquaman. Underwater, he not only has the strength advantage, but also summons a school of piranhas. The League then takes Cheetah to Belle Reve prison before heading back to the Watchtower. However, we see the Cheetah talking to some unknown person and telling them to let her know when the Black Manta arrives. Back at the Watchtower, Wonder Woman feels guilty that she didn't see Barbara Minerva for who she was. Superman comforts her, saying that he likes how she always sees the best in people, and that he does the same. He then takes her to a diner in Smallville so they can see what nice, normal people live like. After he takes her to Kent Farm, they share a romantic moment. However, in the last scene, we see Batman watching the two of them on a monitor. What are Batman's intentions now that he knows Superman and Wonder Woman are a couple?
I think Batman's intentions are the same as they are when it comes to any situation. He's going to monitor it and then plan for any eventualities of any possible circumstances. Like if they break up, what he's going to do. If they really have a long-term relationship, what's he going to do?
I think it's actually different than that. When Superman was poisoned by the Cheetah, Batman seemed to care at a personal level more than just a tactical level. Like he goes, "This guy's my friend," and Superman probably is the closest thing that Bruce Wayne actually has to a friend.
I think Batman always goes to assets before he goes to friends. I mean, you can see that in the Batman comics.
But nobody else is actually his friend. Superman is arguably his only true friend.
I would consider Alfred his friend.
Alfred, I would say, is more of a father figure. I guess that
you can't be friends with your father.
It's a different relationship.
What do you think of the actual relationship between Superman and Wonder Woman?
I'm not a fan of it ever since they started a few issues ago. And honestly, I think it's just so dumb when you have your premier male superhero and then your premier female superhero get in a relationship. And I mean, there's so much. Just from Superman's perspective, there's so much history between him and Lois Lane. That's almost like a romance that's meant to be. I don't know. If you read the Superman comics, you can see that Clark Kent is kind of bummed out that Lois Lane has now moved in with her boyfriend. So I guess that kind of opens it up for Superman to date Wonder Woman. But at the same time, I feel like...
So you would rather have these superheroes dating normal people as opposed to superheroes? That's what you're trying to say? That you want them to sort of associate more with humanity as opposed to just...
Not necessarily that, but it's more just that throughout the history of the comic book character, there's been this kind of core love interest for them.
Well, this is New 52, right? So anything goes.
You can't turn your back on
anything goes.
Just the whole Cheetah storyline was kind of interesting because this is kind of an arc between two previous larger arcs, and this is all kind of setting up for the Throne of Atlantis. And I thought it was pretty good because it allowed them to kind of delve into the Superman-Wonder Woman dynamic. And then also at the same time, another dynamic that we haven't really discussed yet is when the Justice League split up. Even though Batman's sort of been in charge up to this point, Aquaman took on the lead role of kind of his subgroup. And he came up with a pretty good plan to get the Cheetah. Although one tiny point I didn't like about it is when they knocked Cheetah into the river and Aquaman was waiting for her, there's a bunch of piranhas around Aquaman. And I always thought that piranhas were one of Aquaman's weaknesses. Because in the 90s, he lost his hand to some piranhas.
Speaking of Aquaman, you brought up the Throne of Atlantis, and this is basically leading into that, and it's basically setting up.
I'm really looking forward to Throne of Atlantis. I'm a big Aquaman fan, too, in the New 52, because I guess... New 52 made Aquaman cool. It's it took all the
before he couldn't even control piranhas.
It took all the awesomeness he had in Flashpoint, Trident and kind of a warrior. Yeah. And then it kept that in the New 52, which is just great.
So what do you give this as a grade?
As a grade, I'm gonna give this 4. I really like the issue. I like now that Batman knows about Superman and Wonder Woman. Really looking forward to Throne of Atlantis. So 4 out of 5.
I'd give it a 4 out of 5 as well. I like the art. Like a lot of the art was really good, especially when they were drawing Cheetah, and when Superman was possessed by Cheetah spirit. That was also really great. So we're sealing out this issue between the bags and boards.
But before we go, we have a question for you. Who do you think should lead the Justice League? Should it be Batman or Aquaman? Or someone else?
You can leave the answer to that question in the comments below, or reach us via email or Twitter. You can also check out our Tumblr, and please subscribe and like our videos.